Hola, Internet amigos. Candace, Owens. This is great. There's going to be a huge debate. We're going to talk about Army intelligence, Patrick Bet-David, and we'll have a little giggle at this early morning. It is 6:20 a.m. It is the 12th of August, the solar eclipse in Leo. We're all doomed. 2026. Will the king die? Who knows? But ladies and gents, this is funny. This is funny. You're going to learn something. You're going to learn about how the Ari and Rahm Emanuel show, they all gather together. They all know each other. They've all been to each other's houses. They all know each other's kids. And now the great family debate. The Ari Emanuel family debate is about to take place on the facts surrounding the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And you need these people to tell you in a great spectacular show. The Overton window has been opened. The boundaries are clearly defined, and we will only be talking about this and that. Keep distracted, keep seated, keep watching. This is the World Wrestling Federation. Ladies and gentlemen, let us attend.
In cyber is a real domain of power. In cyber is a real domain of power.
Ladies and gents, before beginning, have you noticed Tucker's getting nervous and thinking getting arrested? He's going to get arrested. And he's going to push that, lo and behold, he's an innocent man. And he called Iran, and you work for British Intel, which is really City of London, Tucker. That's who you work for. And no matter how many times I say that Tucker Carlson was fully funded in his startup, he's not in his daddy's garage. He is in a very expensive studio backed by over $20 million with 27 staff, half of which came from Fox News, funded by Rebecca Mercer, Cambridge Analytica, SCL Group, British Ministry of Defence contracts. They're all from Eton. They're all Lord Farmer's friends. You can link Tucker Carlson with Lord Farmer, just like Candace Owens through her marriage to her gay husband. And no matter how many times I repeat it, but she said boo the Jews. Tucker said boo the Jews. He's on our side. He won't tell you who did 9/11. Not even interested. He's not going to tell. He's just there to pick on Trump, and he's starting to get worried. I go after Trump for very specific reasons. My intent is not to see the US go down. Tucker Carlson's intent is to facilitate pressure on the United States elites so they will back off the City of London and give the City of London the Middle East. They're trying to do a deal. They want the US out of the Middle East at least. At the very least. That's why King Charles was over in January. Interesting time, January. You know, Mark Carney Starmer running to China. That big Chinese general gets taken down. Interesting time. Interesting time. Let's talk to Candace. Candy, candy, candy. They love you so. You know, I'm kind of reminded of all the crumbs she gives people.
It is by my podcast you shall rise from the ashes of the mainstream media world. From my mouth will flow the redeeming water of alt media truth. We shall travel many dangerous theories, unravel many mysteries. Stay seated, my target demographic. Remain transfixed on my monologue, for I shall set you free with many coffee mugs and health insurance sales. Do not, my friends, become addicted to truth. It will take hold of you, and you will resent its absence. Instead, enjoy this light snack of my entertainment limited hangout. Endless detail and trivialities, infighting and scandal. Do not listen to the enemies of the limited hangout who state I am directly tied to the City of London and the Rothschild network via my gay husband's father, Lord Farmer, who resides in the House of Lords.
And she holds up a Talmud and goes, I'm going to talk about this, and it's got Talmud. It's this yellow cartoonish looking book with Talmud on it. And I'm thinking, wow, because she had me going for a little while. I thought, wow, she maybe the gay boyfriend saw the light and there's a huge family fight. Candace will explain all this, hanging out with Rothschild crew at the City of London. She's going to explain it all. No, not a word. Her husband's obviously a gay, homosexual, like a real homosexual. You know, homosexuals will often have sex with women. It's part of their bearded cover, but they're homosexuals. They don't like women. And he's clearly the little bitch at the bottom of the deck, shall we say. He's definitely, yes, XPD bootstrapper. You can access the net. But one thing I love about these people is their audacity. You've got to have a lot of chutzpah to sit there and be totally comfortable. See, I would go, but listen, I've married into the Rothschild clan. I've married into that network. You know, people they're gonna call me out. Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry, it'll be fine, as the critical drinker would say. It'll be fine. If I'd be like, yeah, but it's the internet. People are gonna speak. No, we've got them all covered. Don't worry. But have you got everybody covered? And the answer is yes, they do. Because if everyone wasn't covered, literally covered, literally, whether working for them overtly or they've been suggested or handled, see, gentle handling, gentle pushing in the right direction, then someone would have told you a long time ago that, Candy's married literally into the Rothschild clan via Lord Farmer of the House of Lords, the highest British establishment, metal traders out of the City of London. Somebody would have told you. I can't find anyone. They talk about the Bullingdon Club, but they don't tell you that she's directly linked in with King Charles and Lord Jacob Rothschild. May he rest in hell with Heinz. They won't tell you via the Council of Christians and Jews. Not going to say a damn word, but she's feeling the heat slowly. Man, I know people that worshipped her. They've seen the light now. They've seen the light on Andrew Tate. The whole kit caboodle is going to come down. But what amazes me is the fact that they just sat there. I would immediately go, yeah, but people are going to find out that I met my first in 2018. I'm visiting Turning Point USA with Charlie Kirk. I fly first class, I might add. She let that slip, first class. And that's where I first met. And then I was married in 2019. And I'm literally down there with Rothschild and the gang with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, is a Rothschild outlet, just like Murdoch is a Rothschild outlet. Literally. That's why they all hate Trump. I hate Trump for very specific reasons. I hate Trump for multiple reasons, including his background, his weird sexual dalliances with his daughter, and a whole range of issues, and the allegations against him, which I believe might be true, but I don't know. He's certainly deeply involved in some very dodgy, sexy sex business and setting people up with Roger Stone. Right, we get that. But it's the endless corruption of his family, the insider trading, the plane from Qatar. He's just a mocking fool. No big contracts. It's like someone going to pull him up and go, Mr. President, could we just tone down the criminality now for a while? It just looks really bad. And Trump's like, don't care. I've got to make as much money as I can because he's poor. Donald Trump, when he came in, was worth about $250 million. That's why he doesn't want you seeing his tax returns. But then I'm not allowed to criticize Trump because the other side is so bad. The Peter Singers of the world, the Murdochs of the world. Murdoch hates Trump. Everybody hates Trump. That's the only trouble you don't see. But apparently I can't criticize because, you know, Murdoch hates him. The City of London hates him. Yeah, but everybody hates Trump. The bottom line is, does the Republic fall? Does it all end when the orange clown goes? A highly compromised orange clown. The disposable condom. I put to you, that will be a very sad state of affairs if Donald Trump cannot disappear and the whole thing comes crashing down. The whole reform comes crashing down. At some stage, you've got to have a standard, and they believe the public is so stupid, so desperate that they will tolerate every bit of his stinking corrupt family's activities. What do? I have to agree with Tucker Carlson. He's so stinkingly corrupt. He won't even stop it. He's like a pig. He's like a sex addict. He sees the young 15-year-old butt and he tries to grab the pussy. He can't stop himself. That's the definition of a deviant pedophile. They see the small child and can't resist kissing the tummy of the small child. They just can't resist. That is a very sick psychopath nutcase. He just can't stop. He can't go, oh, I don't think this looks good, and everybody's talking about it. Nah. Him and Howard Lutnick and Chabad Lubavitch and Jared Kushner and Witkoff, how many insults do we have to take? And they say, it's fine, you're covered, Mr. President. We've got all the nutcases from the left. Rahm's handling the left. They're going to be as nutty as ever. Don't worry about it. They're pushing communism now. The great game, horseshit game continues. They're all linked. It's one big, happy Lodge Hubbard family. Watch this. Here you go. Watch Candace. Come on, Candy.
He is officially bringing more people than I have on my team. So actually, I will be underrepresented in my own home when he comes down because I want this to be a clean victory. Okay, now it's time to announce the moderator of the debate.
Yes. We're not going to be debating 9/11, and we're not going to debate Iran, something like that. We're going to debate Charlie Kirk. And you would say, well, Brendon, he was assassinated in full view. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to clarify. The first thing a detective does in a murder or any crime is the first thing, detective score. All right. First thing, who benefits? Key bono. Who benefits? Did the state of Israel benefit from the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Quite obviously, no. And anyone who put up and says, let's go and assassinate him in full view with a furry, tranny-loving weirdo with our silly little 30-06 theory, and he's on and someone said, yeah, that's a great idea. That'll work for Israel. That'll work for BB. There, we start right there. That's why from day one I said, this is not Israel. I had another theory before I went on to my City of London theory, which was that the Steve Bannons of the world, the ONIs of the world, the IC of the world, needed to break off Israel from the evangelical movement. And that's a pretty sound theory. And I believe, yeah, that was it. Then I went, wait a minute. There's just something else here that's not quite right. It's that who's really benefiting now from this? With Charlie Kirk's in the White House saying, don't go to war with Iran, not with my boss's asset. Charlie Kirk's there in 2018 meeting. Turning Point USA is clearly a Rothschild City of London outlet. Cambridge Analytica, Rebecca Mercer. That's the outlet. That's what it is. Pure and simple. They run the whole thing. The Council of Christians and Jews, Lord Farmer, Lord Jacob Rothschild, King Charles. Now you're starting to get it. Who benefits? Breaking off US public opinion from the Middle East and Israel. Get out of Israel. And there's Candy Owens ready to go. There's Tucker Carlson directly linked in with the same network. Get out. Stop these endless wars. Don't join the military. Come home. Oh, now you're getting it, aren't you? I've twerked your interest. Let me pause briefly while I get and refill my coffee cup. Okay, coffee's here. Let's get rocking. Come on, Candy. Tell us more, Candy.
Between me and Andrew Wilson. Now, obviously, you guys all know that his first pick was Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles politely declined on.
Michael Knowles is the godfather to Candy's children.
His own show to do so, citing his own personal reasons. And so then we moved to Andrew Wilson's second option. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, take a listen.
Candace Owens offered her $300,000 to do a debate.
This guy is a chain-smoking moron who there's nothing redeeming about that guy you just saw. He just chain smokes. He's a drinker. He's a conservative Christian whose wife has been married twice before, and she's got 2 different kids to 2 different fathers. Now, that's okay. He's taken in the Jezebel. Maybe they're all going to church together. But you know what I mean? Have you ever noticed that all these conservative, the woman stays home, are all just these half-wits, absolute half-wits? And he gets on Joe Rogan, the biggest podcast in the world. Why is he even on Joe Rogan? Why? And you know Joe Rogan is literally the super agent, the agent for Joe Rogan. The creator of Joe Rogan is none other than Emanuel, the super agent for Donald Trump. That's how they all end up on Iron Man 3 with Elon Musk. All of them, Larry Ellison. You can see it's a giant family of people. It's a giant network. And you can trace it all back to the City of London.
Given the reaction, I think it probably would have been better for her to lay low for a little while.
1,000%.
The going out with the sparklers.
You mean going out on the World Wrestling Federation Ari Emanuel stage show? They all use the same camera equipment, same camera crews, same stage lighting, same everything as the World Wrestling Federation. As Patrick Berge said, he goes to see Alex Jones, and he says, this is all the same equipment that we have in our military studios. It's the same equipment, identical. It's the same studio.
It's not a great idea.
I'm 7 months pregnant, so if you fancy a debate face-to-face, you're going to have to travel to me. It's common decency.
Look, Andrew Tate's had another love child with Candace.
After giving it serious consideration over the weekend, I will be declining the invitation.
Because I'm the godfather to Candace's children. Well, of course they all know each other at Turning Point USA. Yeah, it's one big happy family. What color were Charlie Kirk's underpants? We must know. Tell us, Candace. Take us on a journey to discover. Was it the candlestick in the library with Sir Reginald? Trillionaire bankers don't leave vacuums. Their people are pre-placed. I don't mean to be belligerent and believe they have total control, but they have total control. They really do. That's why they don't have to kill us. Did you know I was literally approached by the same people, all tied back to the City of London? That's the former Prime Minister of Australia, Tony Abbott. Here he is with Kissinger and Murdoch. I was invited out with those people, and they're all Jesuits. All of them. Tony Abbott, Colonel James McMahon, retired SAS commander, good guy, Jesuit. Minister Joe Francis, good guy, Royal Australian Navy. He's a good guy. They were cleaning out all the corruption, Jesuit. They were in with Kerry Stokes, one of the most powerful media magnates in Australia. I'm not sure if he's a Jesuit, but he likes to put the head of the Masonic Lodge, Inspector Steve Jancic, right in his newspaper. And that article was placed on my pillow in Albany Regional Prison. Someone had entered my cell when I was away and placed that in an envelope, that article on my pillow. That was an invitation. These people are not evil. They're not sacrificing children. And then Justice Mazza, one of my judges, excellent judge, another Jesuit. How do I know? Because just as I'm getting out of jail in 2014, just before I get out of jail in the West Australian newspaper owned by Kerry Stokes, or I presume is also a Jesuit, Kerry Stokes, lo and behold, Justice Mazza has a 2/3 of a page giant article, and the lead title of the article is Jesuits No Longer Dance to Tune of Former Masters. Man, I'm giving you gold. I'm giving you such gold. But Justice Mazza was excellent. Every one of those people tried to help. The West Australian put a big article in saying how ludicrous my case was, that it was disgusting that I should be in jail. Is it possible that these people just didn't know? Have you ever considered that? Then why the hell didn't they kill me? Because these people are directly tied back to the City of London. Directly. You don't think I got a movie? I have a freaking movie. I'm exactly who I say I am. But this is all normal to me now. It's a completely normal life now. It's normal to be in exile. It's normal to be constantly approached by very strange, mysterious people. It's, you know, God's in control. God's laughing. I can hear him. I can see him. As I anthropomorphize the unknowable Godhead, there he is with his beard. And he's just like, brother, you just chill, bro. I'm making a movie here. I'm having a bit of fun. You are my instrument. I'm going to put you through stuff and you're going to make a fool of yourself, and it's going to be a great movie. It's a great movie as these things start to be undone, all of it. But everyone I meet is nice. Everyone's given me the thumbs up, but no one will give me any money. And I'm just eking out this little sad existence, and I'm trying to work it all out. And the only thing I can come to is that a lot of these people, when they go into it's like the lodges. I know people from the lodge, 30 years in the lodge. And I said, Ken, brother, who tried to start his own bank and was nearly killed by his own people. True blue Aussie farmer. No, it's not this. The fraternity's good. It is a brotherhood, Brendon, you know. It's not about the Jews. This stuff goes back to ancient Babylon and the Egyptian pyramids, Brendon. Blah, 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 blah. Nice guy. Ken's a great guy. May you rest in peace. These people aren't evil. These people just don't know that they're getting plucked. The freaks and the nutcases. The rest are just left there, and if they're suitable, if they're useful, then they pluck them out and promote them and put them all over the TV. They don't know. The vast majority don't know. They know now. Jesuits no longer dance to tune of former masters. Opus Dei has approached me. I've had everything. Jews have approached me. I've had everything. And the funny thing is, all of them are just, they didn't know the look on their faces. They didn't know this stuff. They had to look at my stuff. The police had to look at my stuff. They didn't know. Did you know they had to watch all the Holocaust videos I collected all those years, all the torrents, 1/3 of the Holocaust, the truth behind the gates of Auschwitz, all the Frederick Tobin stuff? They had to watch all that. They weren't laughing about the Holocaust after that. They said when they arrested me, Detective Gavin Manners and Timothy Paini, detective, what are you going to say? The Holocaust never happened? I said, that's not the issue, gentlemen. This is where I'm in the back of the car going to be charged the first row. I said, that's not the issue. You don't destroy people's lives and careers for questioning the Holocaust, for questioning historical facts and figures, especially when so much of it has been grossly exaggerated. I went, oh, whatever. You know what happened when they raided me again? When he came and visited, because he said he's been watching all my videos and he came with his detective sergeant and he said, we're the arresting detectives. We have a conflict of interest. We concentrate on winning the case. We want to talk to you about what you write about, which is Israeli espionage. So you don't think I'm in a movie? That's state counterterrorism. Came with his boss, detective sergeant. Payne back then was detective. He's aiming for inspector of counterterrorism. And I said, oh, what do you think of Holocaust stuff? And he looked at him and they just said nothing because they fucking knew. They had to watch all that. So imagine that alone, the Holocaust grip on everyone, that they never actually looked at the facts and figures and realized, as Professor Norman Finkelstein's mother said, they've lied about it so much, it's a wonder anyone believes it at all. And so now we've gone from, if you dare question everything, you're a lunatic, to Adolf Hitler's probably a nice guy. That's the extremes we've swung to. Now we can't have a debate. We can't have historical facts and figures teased out anymore. The mass executions of Jews on the Eastern Front, all the Baba Yar, all the ravines, men, women and children slaughtered by the German army, Einsatzgruppen, Sonderkommando, Totenkopf, Waffen-SS Totenkopf, Death Head. We can't have a debate about that. Because now Hitler's a wonderful guy. Instead of just saying he was a bureaucrat raised to power through moneyed interests, guess who? Instead of having a look at who actually funded, we can't have a factual look at World War II and Adolf Hitler because it's just too evil. You can't understand evil. And who are we going to find funding all these movements, aren't we? Yes. But I digress. The point is, a lot of these people don't know. They don't know. They beg me. I've had the US State Department, the Australian Foreign Office, and I've just been sitting there, give me some fucking money, and I want fucking $3.8 million US. I want compensation, and I want my fucking life back, and I want to go home, and I want a full fucking pardon and a full investigation into all the corruption that went on. They just look at me like, nah, we'll take you in. Come and join us. That's why I know all these people are fakes, because they've approached me. Heritage, everybody's approached me. Top levels of the Pentagon. They didn't know. And now they have to untangle a giant stinking mess. And the only way to untangle it is something radical for all these people with Jesus on their lips. They've all got Jesus on their lips 24/7. It's radical, everybody. It's called the truth. For know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And they just can't do it. Let's continue.
The good news is that we have secured a moderator, a good one, and the moderator is already stepping in to moderate to get this debate over the finish line.
With Patrick Bet-David, the Army intelligence guy, speaks 4 languages, the multi-level, scammer, bullshit artist. But I have to tell you, caveat, I don't mind him. He asks hard questions. If I just ignore his past, his Army intelligence past, speaking 4 languages, including Farsi, the fact he gets Mahmoud Ahmadinejad on the phone. Hey, Patrick, remember when I offered you Roger Reeves, the Medellin cartel's top transporter? I met him in jail in Perth. I've told you I got a movie. Is Emanuel going to give Roger his movie deal? 10-part Apple series? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But Patrick knows the way. And you knocked it back, Patrick. Do you remember? You could have been the first to have on Roger Reeves, but you knocked it back. Anyway, he got on Patrick Bet-David eventually. But these people all think I'm not Army intelligence. I have nothing to do with the Army, even though I wanted to join the SAS as an 18-year-old, but I had a knee injury, osteochondritis dissecans of my medial femoral condyle. But we've got Army intelligence guy Patrick Bet-David, and there is a very large scammy, very much the same religion as Donald Trump, which is, you're in control, manifesting. That's what Trump's into, and so is Patrick Bet-David. That's really their true religion. So is Candace Owens. They'll talk about it all the time. They let it slip all the time, manifesting, and we're manifesting this. Let me tell you, when you say someone, I am manifesting, we are manifesting, that is not of God. You don't manifest shit, all right? You don't manifest shit. God manifests by the grace of the Holy Spirit. God divine providence manifest. So when you hear Candace talk about telling Charlie, oh, we're manifesting, yay, and we're doing this, then you know exactly what you're dealing with, and they are all the same. All lodge members. Every last one of them is a Turning Point USA Mason. Every last one. With Jesus on their lips. And people who put Jesus on their lips and lie never fare well. Ever. You are a member, you are a leader of the flock, and you put Jesus on your lips and lie, the demons come in. The moment you lie, the moment you exaggerate. I watch myself and go, wait a minute, I need to double check that in my head before I say that. And even I do it. Sometimes I think, oh, like I have to watch what I say just to protect someone's identity or something, and it really upsets me. It makes my whole body just goes, don't do it. You've got to be natural. You have to flow with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit doesn't tell lies. These people lie all day, every day. But ironically, Patrick Bet-David, I don't mind. I don't watch him that often, but I remember he got Whitney Webb on, and he said, look, name the names, Whitney. Give us names. And Whitney said, oh, the CIA scratched her head. She couldn't name names. She had to be handed names. And then his Jewish sidekick, Patrick Bet-David's Jewish sidekick, had to come on and say, Rothschild? And Whitney goes, oh, yes, Rothschild, certainly. Yes. It's like, sweetheart, just stop it, please. But that's Patrick Bet-David, Army Intelligence, and he's going to tell you, the furry did it.
Patrick Bet-David was his second option. And I know that my fans are going to be very upset about this because they think that Patrick Bet-David and his crew over at Valuetainment have not been very kind to me. And no, you are correct. Certainly not Adam Sosnick. And, they've thrown a lot of digs my way. That's exactly why I think it's a good pick. I want to remove the idea that this is in any way slanted. I don't want people to, even with Michael Knowles, it could have been like, oh, well, he's the godfather to her, whatever it is. They could have kind of pitched this as like, in this way, I'm actually literally am outnumbered. This is his pick. I do trust, despite the fact I've always been able to compartmentalize. I'm a big girl. I can take people. He platformed people that said things.
She's a big girl with 20 staff. Do you think Candace is just in there with the gay boyfriend and the nanny, don't you? Just in the house, she's got a little studio set up. That's what you think. She is a limited liability company. She is a corporate body with a lot of backing behind her with 20 permanent staff. 20, not 5, not 10, not 15, 20. Tucker Carlson has 27 permanent staff. He was started by a core of 5 in 1778 Capital. Rebecca Mercer and Don Jr. is also on the board. And not just that, good old J.D. Vance's son. And J.D. Vance's son is still there. So can you work it all out, ladies and gentlemen? What a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. These are very simple things. You can Google them up. Fact. F-A-C-T. Fact. Fact. Not up for debate. Not AI hallucinations. Fact. Tucker bang, 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 with his little banjo and his fly. He's just a down home kind of guy. 27 staff. He's a corporate with tens of millions of dollars in startup funding. They didn't start in mummy and daddy's garage. These are corporate bodies pretending to be the alternative media. That's enough. I have other things to do. We've got to talk about Taiwan Semiconductor massively ramping up production. Wow, I thought AI was over. Why are they massively ramping up production 5 times what they're doing now? 5 times. AI is finished. It's all over. It's collapsing. It ain't fucking collapsing. I have tripled down on this. I will quadruple down on this. And when they're all wrong, when AI is still going strong, there may be ups and downs. There may be a failure here and there. AI will just continue to pour on. They're stopping building the data centers because they don't have the energy. All right? That's the problem. They don't have the energy. And also very bad town planning when you put those things within earshot of a house where I would go insane. I would be taking out their transformers. I would be getting pretty radical with a data center. You build that anywhere near me. So that's bad town planning. But it's not stopping And the only thing this leads to, I believe, is a blockade of Taiwan is on the way. There's going to be a blockade. I can think of no other reason for what's going on when you follow the chip industry, and we'll talk about that. But anyway, there's the big family fight. There's the Overton window. There's your boundaries. There's the fight in the Coliseum. We can all go on view. He's not going to talk about Chris Boleyn. They're not going to get on, that ICTS, a company started by the Shin Bet that runs all the port security around the world to this day, that runs all the airport security around the world to this day, including Boston, Logan Airport on 9/11. Candace Owens isn't going to tell us anything about that with her 20 staff and her researchers. We're going to debate whether Charlie Kirk's underpants were red or green on that day. We're going to get lost in the detail, the furry, and we won't see the forest for the trees. I don't need Candace to tell me that a 30-06, I've used 22s, 223s, 222s, 308s, all right? I know what they can do to a large mammal, a 70-kilo buck kangaroo. I know what it does. I know what it does to a fox. I know what it can do. Don't tell me an even larger round. I didn't realize how big the 30-06 was. It was even bigger than a 308. It's like 20% bigger. And you fire that from 150 yards, it may not take your head off it. It's going to take a chunk out. Just like with Martin Luther King. Went in through his chin and blew all the side of his neck out. Same round, 30-06, blew all the side of his neck out. But not Charlie. Charlie gets a little hole and then his neck of steel. I don't need Candace to tell me that's bullshit. You don't need a ballistics expert for another magic bullet theory. I mean, who knew the sense of humor they would have that in 2026 we would have another magic bullet theory? Who knew? 1963, 2026. Someone add up the years. There'll be a magic number in there somewhere. We don't need Candace to bullshit her way and tell us and distract a vast audience with just a few drops of water. Don't have too much water, for you'll get used to it and you'll crave more truth, as they did on Mad Max Fury Road. Ladies and gentlemen, the show must roll on. I will continue to report. You will continue to send me millions of dollars to save for my 5090, 30 gigabyte VRAM AI video production fetish. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with the great Bill Cooper, true patriot, Bill Cooper.
What is our common bond truly? Freedom. Freedom. Without freedom, you can't be a Christian no matter what denomination you belong to. You can't be a Buddhist. You can't own a donut shop. You can't drive from here to Oregon. You can't be an American because that's what it's all about, and that's the only thing that it's all about. Nothing else. Nothing else. It's about freedom. Only freedom.